Hey gang, and welcome to another Animal Crossing video. I'm Crossing Channel, and lately there seems to be a new bug or glitch in Animal Crossing New Horizons which is affecting people finding their villages around their island. Even though usually villages can seemingly go missing, they can usually be found within certain buildings, like the museum for example. But since the latest 1.10 update for Animal Crossing New Horizons, it seems like villages can't actually be found in the museum at all and potentially other buildings, which means on certain days they can completely go missing. I wanted to discuss in this video how this bug might be affecting you, all the details you need to know and more. So without further ado, let's get straight into this. I want to quickly mention that I do have a second channel called Game with Ben where I post miscellaneous gaming content, so if you're looking for more gaming content that isn't Animal Crossing, definitely subscribe and show that channel some love. So let's do a quick recap. The Animal Crossing 1.10 update dropped in late April, and since then I've gotten so many messages from people saying that they basically can't seem to find their villages anywhere. Now at first I kind of just assumed these people maybe didn't realize that you can find villages within buildings, but it became so common, so eventually I made a story asking people if they were experiencing this, and I got so many different replies back. I'm showing some of them here where people are talking about how they can't find their villages, anywhere within the museum, which is definitely proving to be a little bit of a problem for them. This means that on certain days where villagers would usually be visiting the museum, they completely go missing. And that's a problem, because if you need to talk to a certain villager, and you're not someone who time travels, you play the game sort of day by day, it means on certain days you might not be able to find certain villagers and interact with them whatsoever. So how is this happening? Well, it seems like since they released the 1.10 update, or maybe the latest patch which introduced the wedding event, this glitch has been around and it's affecting lots of different people. It might not literally be affecting everyone though. It's worth noting that stuff like the Gulliver glitch, which I talked about, where Gulliver will appear in random spots around your island, isn't actually affecting every single player, so that could actually be the case here too. But I have seen so many people talk about this, and lots of people wanted me to make a video discussing it further and bringing some attention to it, so I thought that would be a good idea. Now I decided to take a whole look around my entire museum to see if I could find my missing villager Renee anywhere. And I've got to say, looking through every single nook and cranny, no pun intended, of this place, I could not find her. I looked in the whole entire island, through the whole museum, I looked in Nook's cranny, I looked in the Able sisters, I looked in every possible spot she could be, and yes, before you ask, I looked in her home too, which obviously she was out of. So it seems like on these certain days where villagers usually would be visiting the museum, something they can do which is honestly pretty cool, because you can have a chat to them in these different exhibits and they'll make certain comments and give you unique dialogue. It seems like right now they can't do that. It seems like something that Nintendo changed has prevented villagers from actually showing up in the museum. So when they usually would be there, they just aren't appearing anywhere, which, yeah, is definitely a bit of a problem. Most people want to be able to talk to their villagers every day. I mean, I know they don't usually have much to say, guys, but still, if you're the type of player who wants to build your max friendship with your villagers, or you just don't like the idea of your villagers disappearing into the unknown, then you'll probably not enjoy this bug which is happening right now, and something that seems to be affecting so many people. So it's pretty common for villagers to go missing from their homes. I think we've all experienced this where we go up to a villager's house and they're out on a snack run or something like Bob is, but usually you can find them somewhere. It may be hidden within a building, they may be sitting behind some kind of tree on your island and you just haven't noticed them, but they're somewhere. However, thanks to this new bug, it seems like truly the villagers can completely go missing. It's almost like they've gone on their own mini vacation and just completely not let you know, which actually would be a really cool feature if they did let you know. But sadly, it's not a feature. It does seem like 100% a bug. Now, there's actually quite a few different bugs in the latest Animal Crossing update, at least since the 1.10 update, which dropped in late April. Now, one of those was actually something that went wrong with certain plots, which I'm going to talk about more soon. So it seems like villagers are getting affected in lots of different ways. Now, I can't say for sure whether villagers are currently appearing in Nook's Cranny or the Able Sisters or not. Usually you actually can see them in Nook's Cranny, and they'll talk to you about certain items that they want to purchase. But I will personally say that in the last few weeks or so, I honestly don't think I've seen a villager here at all. I have seen some people say they've seen them, though I've personally not seen anyone say they've seen villagers in the museum at least for a little while. So I would love for you guys to let me in the comment section down below if you have seen villagers in any of these buildings. Like I said, this glitch may not be affecting literally everyone. That is entirely possible. I'm not entirely sure how that works, but it is something that we've seen, especially with the Gulliver glitch. So it would be worth noting if maybe some people actually can still find their villagers within the museum. Personally, I know I can't, and I also can't seem to be finding them in any of the regular buildings too, which is a bit of a problem. Now, I mentioned the plots glitch, which is something I talked about earlier on in the month, or sometime last month I believe, where I mentioned that plots can actually get stuck. The Soldstein can get stuck for quite a few days, which is a bit annoying, and villagers don't seem to move into these plots as frequently as they do, especially through the autofill feature, which is something where there's a certain queue of villagers where they'll move into your island kind of randomly, or through friends I believe. So that's something that also seems to be affected. Of course, we have the glitch where people can glitch into hot tubs, and they can glitch into the river and such, which is something that I personally really love. And then we also have the Gulliver glitch, where he is just appearing in a bunch of different places. Some of these actually seem to have popped up since the 1.10a update, which means they've been appearing since kind of they unlocked the wedding feature, which is interesting, though some of them have definitely been around since the update was dropped when it happened, you know, back in late April. So, could Nintendo actually come out with some kind of new patch to address some of these bugs? Personally, I think it's possible, though I'm not entirely sure right now if Nintendo is even aware of these, because not that many people have been talking about them. The whole museum thing and the plots thing is honestly pretty obscure in itself. We all know that Nintendo has probably heard about the glitching into bathtubs because it went super viral, everyone knows about that, and I'm sure Nintendo does. But in terms of the bugs which are actually affecting players and could disrupt the gameplay balance right now, those are things that definitely need to be addressed, and hopefully Nintendo is seeing that there's quite a few glitches and bugs within the latest update. Now, I definitely don't want them to patch that really cool water glitch, but I would like them to fix some of these bugs, because not being able to see your villagers in the museum is a downer. I think many of us can agree that the villagers in New Horizons don't say enough original stuff, and the museum is one of the only places where you can see them and get them to say completely original things that you won't see anywhere else. So definitely I hope Nintendo will introduce some kind of patch, though it might be a part of the next major update rather than something they do separately. I wouldn't be surprised if they did introduce a little patch though, because they have done it before. So what do you guys think about this current bug? Leave your comments down below and let me know if you've seen your villagers anywhere like in the museum or the Nook's Cranny or Able Sisters lately. I would love to hear your thoughts. And if you made it to the end of the video, be sure to comment Bob's Gang down below. You can also leave a like and subscribe for more Animal Crossing content. If you want to help support my channel, become a member of the Bob's Gang by clicking the join button down below.